This is our plate room. Right now there's nobody working because it's the afternoon. The people that work in here work nights. Why we have orange lights is we don't want to image a plate. It's the same as if you had film in a camera, opened the camera before the film was done, and it would kind of get highlights in there. That's the same way that would happen to the plates. Our plates have a special coating that washes off. There's no hand touching anymore. Everything is run through these machines, and it automatically prints the page, runs it back to the press room. Now we come to the reel room. Real as unwinds, not real as is everything else. It's fake and make-believe, and this is real. All the newsprint that we print from comes from down here. You'll see mounted on the unit right here a huge roll of paper. If we would unroll this paper, take the coating off, put it out here in front of the building and roll it, it would stretch all the way down to Elida. It's about 3.5 miles long on a roll of paper. They weigh between 12 and 1,500 pounds, so they do weigh quite a bit. We have a machine that will grip it and lift it and bring it over. Per paper, when we work Sunday through Thursday night for the weekly papers, we go through 10 to 12 rolls of paper. On the weekend, we might go through 15 to 18. So all of the paper comes from here. And you'll see there's 2 rolls on here. This one is the one that's speeding up, and you'll notice that it is speeding up. When they start the press, it will be the only one that moves. As it gets down to about 4 inches, the next one in line will start to spin. As it gets down to about 2 inches, there's a cutter bar. It will automatically cut off this roll and start the next one feeding up. You don't want to have them stop and start for every roll change because every unit has a different amount of paper on it, depending on how many pages they run the night before or how many they're going to run that night. If you have to stop and start, every time you stop, you have to realign every one of the colored pages. So that's why they have this, so that it automatically feeds. This is the storage area. When you walk past these, there are 3 ink tanks. You notice the rims are all different colors. This is where the colored ink comes from. Our cyan, our blue is called cyan. It's got a little tint of green in it. Our red is called magenta. It's got a little bit of orange in it. But the yellow is plain. You mix these depending on the color that's in the picture. It's like crayons of paint when you're in school. You mix red and blue together to get purple. It's the same difference with us. Except our things going, you'll notice the pipes, it's like the faucet system for your water at home. They turn faucets on upstairs or open spouts, and they get their ink from down here. They have to carry this up all the time. You notice over here that we've got paper rolls stacked up. If we don't get any newsprint, we can print for about 2 months with the paper that we have in-house. We buy from 5 different paper mills. The reason being, if you put all of your paper in one company, and that company happens to have a fire, a log jam in the wintertime, or a strike, we won't get any paper, we can't print. So we kind of spread it out. Plus, a few paper mills only make certain sizes, and we do use 3 different sizes of paper. 4 sheets wide, 2 sheets wide, and 1 sheet wide. So you'll see we'll have different sizes of paper in here. The gripper that holds the paper also is like an extension ladder, and that's why they get stacked on top of each other. Everybody who comes in wants to know what happens if they fall. If every paper roll weighs 1,200 pounds, it's not going to move anywhere. It's like stacking cars on top of each other. They don't move, so they do not move. Okay, this is the machine that lifts the paper and brings it over, so they don't have to, nobody carries it. It'd take about 6 guys to lift one of those if they could get that high. You'll notice that it's curved. It also adjusts, and it's got little nubs on here so it will grip the roll so it does not slip out, and it does extend. You'll see that there's several ways. The people that drive this, the press guys, have to go take courses, and they do have to pass to be licensed to be able to run this. It's not just hop on and go for it, even though it looks like fun. So they are trained to go and do this. Besides the color ink, which they fill about every 2 months, depending on how much color we run in the paper, we get it delivered and they take the old one away and refill it. We also have black ink. It comes in a tanker truck, like gas does, to gas stations. They fill this up about every 45 days. When they come, they stick it outside and it just fills it up, and that's where the black ink comes from. This tells them how much ink is left. When it's full, it's clear up. Okay, back in the older days when they had the press in the beginning, before we had safety issues, they used to have a lot of ink spray. My husband used to work in the press room. He'd come home and he'd have ink all over his hair, and I was like, what in the world? So they started making what they call pressman's hat to protect their head. We do have instructions how to make a pressman's hat, but it's very simple. It's easy to do. They don't use these hats anymore, but it's a fun thing to make.